Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again on a Sunday morning, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Like, sub, and subscribe. Don't cost a dime. Sorry, I gotta do it. Still the best beard on YouTube. You think it's easy looking like this? No, it's not. How ironic. We're gonna be doing running back part 4. Seems like we've been here before, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna knock out I'm probably gonna knock out maybe 3 more positions just for this morning because it's an NFL kind of day, but just gonna knock out like 3-4 more videos after that. How ironic though, I just gotta throw that in there. One of the first videos I did, and I said he was a top 5 running back, Kyle Monangai out of Rutgers. Who heard of him back in May? I did. Look what he's done the first 2 weeks of the season. He will be a top 5 running back in the draft this year from little old Rutgers College. Same college that produced Isaiah Pacheco, who I said, yo, he's the man with his 4.37 40 and got laughed at. But he was a round 7 pick. This kid, he ain't getting out of round 2. Kyle Monangai. So look up that name, people, or the so-called experts. So, okay. Spoke about this kid before, but we'll do it again. C.J. Donaldson, West Virginia, 6'2", 240. He is a hammer. He's not the nail. Last year, he had over 800 yards, 11 touchdowns. The year before that, like 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. This past Saturday, had 100 yards and a touchdown. In my opinion, he's a day 3. He's a day 3 running back. But like I said, we're in part 4 of the watch list, so we've gone over 20 already. You put a kid like this in a system with a speedster, a guy that can fly. You put this kid in, he's your goal line back. He's the guy you put in the 4th quarter when the defense is tired. And they now, it's the 4th quarter, they're tired, which still blows my mind how people get tired going one way. I just don't see it. And especially when they're the 1% supreme athletes walking the earth. I did a video. I was trying to type something, but somebody went into my chat. I did a video already on Boise State, Gentry. I think he has 7 TDs in 2 games, I think he has. So I did a video on him already. And he's one of my top. Gentry is one of my top 10 running backs also, too. He's a flaw. He had 6 TDs week 1, and he had, I believe, 1 touchdown last night. Wait. He can fly. But getting back to, and I'm glad you commented, but you put this kid, C.J. Donaldson, with a speedster, and you got that thunder and lightning. He's a monster. Like I said, I'm not saying this kid is a top 10 back at all, C.J. Donaldson out of West Virginia. He's not. I think he's probably a day 3. I think running back is one of the most loaded positions in this year's draft, along with defensive tackle and edges. But he's a kid that you can fit into the right system and he can excel. and I get a speedster, I'll take him and I'll put him on the team too, and try stopping him in the fourth quarter. All right. Next kid, Roydell Williams, Florida State, 5'10", 230. Good size. Good size also. Good size also. Last year, he didn't have that crazy of a season, 600 yards, 5 TDs. He had a good game. Even though they lost, he had a good game against Georgia Tech, Boston College. You know what I'm trying to say? But Florida State is just atrocious this year. And you're going to see a lot of changes. You're going to see a lot of changes soon with that team. But he has talent. He has talent. And he's just a name to look out for. And he has good size. He's a bigger back. And it's crazy. I thought last year it was the year of the big running back. And this year we have a nice mixture of speedsters, tall, lanky speedsters, and we also have a mixture of big running backs. One of the first videos I did was on Nate Singleton and Katron Allen from Penn State. Both had over 100 yards yesterday. Both monsters. Katron Allen is the bigger mauler, in my opinion, the bigger bruiser. But Singleton's a big dude, and he can fly. And what's impressing me this year with Singleton is he's coming out of the backfield catching passes, and he already has 2 touchdowns over 40 yards. But let me get back to these guys. Next is, I'm going to butcher his name, Naquan Wright, South Florida, 5'10", 204. So he's more on the speedster side. When I always give you 5 positions, I try to give you a range of sizes for different schemes and different, because each team needs different things. So I try to give you a little bit of everything. South Florida, he's a little bit older. He's a 60-year man. I can't say that other word, but he's in his 6th year. Last year, he had 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's a name to look out for too. Like I said, it's ironic I'm saying this all over again, but I put out these videos in August already. But it is what it is. Next kid, Montrell Johnson, Florida, 5'11", 200. We all know Florida is not looking that great so far this year. They got their heads handed to them by Miami in week 1. But this kid, like I said, 5'11", 200 pounds, 3 years of 800 yards, and he has 27 TDs in his college career, along with over 30 receptions. Last year he had 30 receptions for like 240 yards and I believe 3 touchdowns. So you don't also have to worry about him being a one-trick pony where he's just going to be a runner and he has hands of stone. He's a guy that can use his hands. And if he has a down year, he's just not somebody you want to look away, look to the scrap heap, because I don't care who you are. Unless you're Barry Sanders, a running back is only as good as their offensive line. A running back cannot make their own holes. That's why the NFL has, not so much that. With the money they're paying all these different positions, that's why it's just a running back by committee league. There's the days of the bell cow running backs are over. The days of paying running backs $70, $80 million, that's never going to happen again. Those days are gone. Every year we'll just draft a running back. We'll draft 2 running backs some years, and we'll use them. If you got them in the first round, you get 5 years, and if you get them from 1 to 7, you get 4 years. I can find 20 running backs every single year. I know I can. I don't know if everybody else can. But I'm glad C. Burleson brought up Gentry. Yo, that he's a beast. He can fly. He's a fly. And like I said, it's only week 2 and he has 7 touchdowns already. Last kid is going to be Jonah Columbus from Arizona. 5'9", 230. Once again, I'm giving you a little bit of a bigger guy, a bowling ball type of guy. 1,400 yards last year with 9 touchdowns, 25 receptions, 290 yards with 1 TD. So once again, he's not a one-trick pony. He has some size. He has production on the field, and you don't have to worry about him having hands of stone coming out of the backfield. I apologize, or I'm not apologizing. I didn't do nothing wrong, but for doing some of these, having to do these videos again. So next, I said, man, you want to talk about books? All my notes. When I watch games, this is what I do. I write notes. I watch college football 12 months out of the year. That's what I do. Next, coming up real soon, we'll be going with offensive tackle part 4, because we all know. I just want to get these part 4s out, and then we're done, and then we're just going to be into the season, and we will have weekly, which I've done, weekly rises, weekly also guys that are trending downwards, but it's very, very early, so I really don't want to put that many guys that are trending down. We're only really in week 2. So we all know when we're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. Over and out.